Today I'm going to show you how to undock and redock in a station safely, since I know there's a lot of people dying on the undocks. So the first thing that you need to know is that Horde has bookmarks in the corporation bookmarks that are called Insta Undocks. This will allow you to basically warp straight out of the station, and when you undock, you're already going to be aligned, you're already going to be at max speed, so you'll just enter warp and you'll end up like 300 kilometers away from the bad guys. And we have these in all the stations that we live at, and there's also these bookmarks in places like Amar and Jita as well. So what you want to do is undock, and when you undock, there's a timer that allows you to have some invulnerability, which means that no one can lock you or shoot you or anything like that for 30 seconds. And when you undock from the station, you start just going straight. Don't press anything, because if you stop your ship or move it or anything like that, it'll cancel your invulnerability and people can then lock you and shoot you. So all you do is assess the situation on the side. If there were neutrals here, but like just tackled, no bubblers like a heretic or an other interdictor, then we would just redock because they're gonna bubble us and probably kill us. But if there's no bubbles, then feel free to right click and look to the corporation locations station, and right at the top, real conveniently, there's an insta undock, and just warp to that and you'll see we just get right up to speed and warp off into this location that's far away from the station and no one can hurt us over here. Now, if there were bubblers or there was a bubbler on the station, we would not want to use the insta undock because we wouldn't be able to warp. So in that case, just stop your ship after 5 seconds, because there's a session change timer and the session change is about 5 seconds. Just stop your ship after that timer. There's usually a little circle that goes around in the corner. And then just redock, because you're not going to be able to get away and you're just going to die in a fire, and that's not good. Just redock and get some duders together to help you kill them so you can undock. But don't die. You're no use to anyone if you just undock and die. Another side note is that occasionally there are people who will sit on the undock of a station and try to just smart bomb people and kill them. And the insta undock doesn't always work for these type of situations, and you can usually have a pretty good guess, like hints as to what a smart bomber is going to be. Usually they're in a battle cruiser or a battleship, and they're about like 5k away from the station, maybe more depending on the undock radius. And usually they don't have any tackle with them either, because that's not their plan. They're just trying to like insta kill you. So if you see that sort of situation, I would advise you to just redock as well. Wait out your session timer, just redock and get some friends to kill them with you. I'm now going to show you how to redock safely. So if you jump into your system and you see neutrals and local, there's some in here. If you see neutrals and local, they might be on the station. So and they might have bubbles. So the easiest way to find this out is by doing a little directional scanning. So say you came in through a gate, warp to any planet. I warped to planet 5. I wouldn't recommend warping to it at 0. You should definitely warp to it at like maybe 70 or 50 and sit there, maybe just a line somewhere so you don't get caught or scanned out. And what I do is scan the station for ships. So I find it actually in space over there. And I put my ship right in front of it as close as possible. And I open up my directional scanner. And right now, this is the default setting. Usually, I don't really have to mess with the distance. It's fine that way. But change the angle to 5%, because this will show you just what's in line of the station. And most of these people are probably friendlies, all these ships on the station, and that's okay. And if they're not, because we can tell that they don't have anything to bubble us, and I don't see any mobile warp disruption bubbles on the station either. So it seems pretty safe to warp there. So what we can do now is use a station instadock. So you warp to the Instadock, and you can keep scanning. You have like a couple seconds to cancel your warp while you align. If something bad happens on the station, now we're just going. And the instant undock will put us within the docking radius of the station, because usually when you warp to the station, you warp at the edge of the docking radius. And sometimes you have to fly a little ways to dock, and you're vulnerable. So make sure that you hit the dock button. And you're safe.